The family photo behind me has a very dark history behind it. Only a few weeks before Christmas, Father Charlie took his entire family to town and bought them all new clothes to have a family portrait taken. And for a poor farming family, this was a very big expense. What the family didn't know is that these clothes would ultimately become their burial clothes. On Christmas morning, Charlie went on to murder his entire family. This slaughter ultimately began with his two youngest daughters, Carrie and Maybelle. The girls were only 12 and 7 years old. That morning, the girls were excited to go to their aunt and uncle's house on Christmas Day, so Charlie waited for them behind the barn, and as they were walking to their aunt and uncle's house, he then approached them with his shotgun. He executed both of them and then also bludgeoned them to make sure that they were actually deceased. He then moved their bodies into the barn. After this, he then returned to the home where he approached his 37-year-old wife and then also executed her right there on the porch as well. When this occurred on the porch, 17-year-old daughter Marie was inside when she heard this. She screamed, and then the two younger boys then went and hid. Charlie then came inside, executed his 17-year-old daughter, and then found the two youngest boys, James and Raymond. The boys were only 2 and 4 years old. After this, Charlie picked up his 4-month-old daughter, Mary Lou, and ultimately executed her as well. After the murders took place, Charlie retreated to the local woods nearby where he paced around a tree for what police suspect to be hours before he ultimately then turned the weapon on himself. The sound of this final shot was heard by many local people. The only survivor was eldest son Arthur, who Charlie had sent to the store before he began his work. Hours later, family arrived at the Lawson residence to wish them a Merry Christmas, where they were met with a horrific crime scene. The bodies of the family were found with their arms crossed and rocks placed underneath their heads. On another disturbing note, shortly after the murders, Charlie's brother actually opened the house to the public, where he charged people a price to see the interior of the home. This home was left exactly how it was, and I quote, "disheveled and bloodstained for authenticity." This gruesome exhibit even featured a cake that oldest daughter Mary had made the morning of the murder.